Today on Rock the Park,
Hey bear! Hey bear!
we're plunging into a mountain range where there's plenty of grizzly bears,
You let the bears know that you're coming. And most of the time, they will get out of your way.
lots of wild sheep,
Holy moly, they're everywhere!
And millions of acres of rugged wilderness that's mostly untouched and unexplored.
You just don't know what's gonna be around the bend.
Oh my gosh, dude. I was not expecting that cliff.
This is Wrangell-St. Elias National Park,
I mean, this is hefty. Oh, look at that.
and it all starts right now.
I'm Jack Stewart.
And I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it, just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
There's no telling what will happen next.
get set to rock the park.
Welcome to pure wilderness, deep in the Wrangell Mountains of Alaska.
We're out here with just a couple of backpacks and a map, navigating through some extremely rough terrain.
I feel like it's just a matter of time before we're gonna get soaked in this river.
We'll be blazing our own trail for a 3-day trek into the Wrangell Mountains, jetting straight up steep, rocky slopes, trying to reach a peak so remote it doesn't even have a name, if the weather doesn't stop us first.
Located in southeastern Alaska, Wrangell-St. Elias is the largest national park in the country. It's undeveloped, with only 2 dirt roads leading deep into the park. On our last visit, we spent 3 days exploring glaciers south of here. Today, we're following the less traveled northern route on the Nebezna Road.
And what's kind of becoming evident to us is not many people come up here. The only people who are venturing out into this wilderness area are people who want to hike, want to climb, but it's hard to get to, so you don't get many of those people.
Back in the 1800s, it was a different story. Thousands came to the Wrangell mountain range in search of copper, silver, and gold. The road was built in the 1930s for hauling away the ore, but by the late 1940s, the ore was pretty much all gone, and so were the people.
Wow. We're gonna be able to make that? I do not know.
Out in the wilderness, creeks and streams forge their own path, and when you've got water flowing over a road, even a little can mean big trouble.
Jeez. It's got a little bit of a current to it.
There's a couple little sandbars right here too.
Yeah, but if we go over those sandbars, who knows how big those ruts are? We might just be going in.
Just a foot of fast-moving water is enough to pick up a small car.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. We should be good.
And... Oh! Go, give gas.
Nice. You can't get stuck, because if you do, there's no one out here.
No.
Seriously. Another stream crossing. It does look thin, but...
Hold on, before we throw it in park quick.
It's not that bad. I think it's probably the same as the last one.
No offense. I want to check it out.
Oh, well, all right, yeah.
Up close, we can see the stream is breaking up into smaller channels, showing how shallow it is. So if you look at this, it's almost starting to braid out. So I definitely think we've got an easy shot across this.
Ready to take the plunge?
I'm ready. Don't be afraid to give it some gas.
No,
'cause this does look a little deeper.
I know, I'm not getting stuck in this.
Attaboy, car. Attaboy.
About 6 miles beyond the creek, the road ends near the slopes of White Mountain, where gold was discovered in the late 1800s. For more than 50 years, thousands of pounds of gold ore was hauled out by several mines, and one of them is still here.
Guess the mine must be this way. Somewhere up there.
The Rambler mine is about 1.5 miles up the side of White Mountain. It was abandoned in the 1940s when the miners just walked away.
Whoa, look at the track. No way. Dude, this is sick. I've been to a few mines before, but I've never seen one that has the track with the rail car.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's like they literally got done one day and said,
No more.
no more. I can't even imagine. Every day,
walking through this tiny little entrance deep inside a mountain. You're risking your life basically day in and day out.
So mine shafts like this are fascinating to check out, but you never want to go into one unless you are absolutely positive that it is safe. And this one right here has got a sign warning us to stay out, stay alive. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
You can still see the bunkhouse that was shaped by the miners who lived here. After they moved out, looks like something else moved in.
So we're seeing grizzly bear markings basically on every single side of every building in this area.
These claw marks look like the ones grizzlies make on trees as a way of marking their territory. Their claws are much longer than black bears. What this grizzly message board is telling us is that they are definitely nearby.
One of the things you always want to have when you're out in bear country is your bear spray.
And the power that grizzlies have. I mean, they've been known in this area to rip doors off of cabins. You are talking about one powerful animal.
Yep, we're in bear country. And tomorrow, we're heading out even deeper into bear country with no marks of civilization to guide us.
There really aren't any trails here in Wrangell-St. Elias.
Oh! We're in Wrangell-St. Elias National Park, about to set out on a 3-day trek into the Alaskan wilderness. We'll be following a creek deep into the backcountry.
Skookum Creek.
Let's do it. Skookum Creek is a small, swift stream in the middle of what looks like a river of rocks and boulders. Rock slides are common here, which can make it slow going.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Keep your feet dry. It's nothing worse than having soggy boots.
Following the creek will bring us closer to a peak so remote that maps don't even give it a name. If all goes well, we'll reach it tomorrow.
I mean, we want to take the creek bed as far as we can. The longer we can stay on here, the more comfortable it's going to be. But once we got to start bushwhacking, that's where you get into the thick of it. And that's where you have the best chance of sneaking up on a bear, which is the last thing we want to do. See this? Yeah. Volcanic rock. Is it light? It's lighter than it should be. Now, I think this is pretty old stuff, but you can see how porous this is.
The landscape we're hiking through is part of the Wrangell Volcanic Field. It's 2,000 square miles created by erupting volcanoes and flowing lava millions of years ago.
Just when you think Alaska didn't get any more wild, you find this, which came out of a volcano.
Using the creek as a trail seemed like a good idea, but this creek bed is a carpet of rocks where we have to pick and choose every step we take.
The one thing with creek beds is you got an awful lot of loose rock, which is just a great way to roll an ankle.
Maybe it's time to leave the creek and head for the mountain ridge.
It looks like it's pretty bare up at the top, so we should be able to kind of get our lay of the land, if you will. Definitely. Cool. Before we leave the stream, let's fill up. Drink some water quick.
Yeah. A good rule of thumb is to stay hydrated. So right now, we're taking this opportunity while we're by a water source to chug the rest of our water so that we're nice and hydrated, fill her back up with the filter, and we're on our way. Even when it's water from a mountain stream, you should always filter it before you drink. Restocked and ready to go. And the bushwhacking begins. If you're able to shout, clap, or even just talk loudly, you let the bears know that you're coming. And most of the time, they will get out of your way. Hey, bear! Hey, bear! These bushes are mostly alder. Growing about 15 feet tall and packed close together, they're famous in Alaska for being a hiker's nightmare. Looks like we might have a little game trail here. Animals in the wild tend to stick to a few favorite routes, making a rough trail of their own.
You know, even when there's not a trail, you can rely on the animals sometimes to give you the best route. Now, with that being said, they can go to some places that we generally can't. So hopefully this doesn't lead us to a dead end.
And hopefully we won't run into whatever made this trail, because it could be the work of black bears. They're smaller than grizzlies, the biggest weighing around 500 pounds. Bottom line, we don't want to surprise them.
Hey, bear! Man, we are getting up there. There we are. Oh, man. Oh, wow.
Bear scat?
We got bear scat, baby.
That's a nice dose of scat.
That's another incentive for getting above the tree line, so we can see any bears that may be around, and they can see us.
Oh yeah,
We're getting close, too.
yeah, not much longer.
The ridge is 800 feet straight up from the creek bed where we started, and the view is worth every step it took to get here.
Look at this reward. This is just incredible.
This is pretty unbelievable. I could really use a snack.
Snack for you.
Oh yeah. One of the rewards of getting up into the high country is getting past the tree line where you can just see for miles and miles.
So much to be excited about. There really is.
Seeing anything?
Yep. There's a handful of them.
Dall sheep live in the mountains of Alaska and Western Canada. The ram's curved horns are their most distinctive feature. The horns can weigh more than 28 pounds, and the tops of their skulls have a double layer of bone to handle the impact when they fight with them. They've been known to butt an attacking wolf straight over a cliff.
Oh my gosh, dude, there's like
Wow.
30 plus.
This kind of landscape is exactly what they like, a mountain range including meadows and grassy slopes.
Holy moly, they're everywhere.
It's starting to get late, and we're trying to find a place to camp for the night. Luckily, there's a sheltered area a little further down the ridge.
I think it's probably gonna be our smartest bet, seeing that the clouds are starting to move in.
In the mountains in Alaska, clouds could mean snow as easily as rain. And even though there's some light almost 24 hours a day during the summer, the temperatures start dropping fast in the evening.
Oh, it's hailing. Oh, that I did not see coming.
We need to keep making good time to our intended campsite, but then we find this.
Oh wow.
This is huge.
Wow. So this must be a caribou.
Yeah.
Look at the size of this thing.
That is just crazy.
Both male and female caribou have antlers that can grow 3 feet long. Their extra large antlers help caribou shovel snow to get at the grass underneath.
What's really fascinating is that caribou will actually lose these every year and then grow them right back. So this right here is just 1 year's growth.
There are more caribou in Alaska than people, so we may see more antlers before we're done.
Finally, we reach the campsite we spotted from the top of the ridge. It's a nice level spot, partly sheltered against the side of a mountain. All that's left is to set up our tent, store the food that's in our bear-proof canister a good long ways away from the tent, and try to get some sleep. Morning comes and it's a big day. We've got a good 4 miles to go to make it to the next ridge.
And then take it to the top of an unnamed peak. That right there just shows you how rugged this wilderness area is. We're trying to eventually stand on a mountain which has never been named before.
We're down here. We've got a couple miles to get up to the pass up there. Now, the way the clouds are looking right now, there's a chance that we could be good for going up to this peak and getting a pretty awesome view. But then again, yeah, there might not be any view up there.
At the start, we're on the rocks again. We're back to following Skookum Creek, but farther upstream at a higher elevation from where we left it yesterday.
You know that little volcanic rock you pointed out earlier?
Oh yeah.
Not so little anymore. Look at the size of these.
Wow.
The Wrangell mountain range has 8 known volcanoes. Only one of them, though, is currently active, and that's Mount Wrangell, the highest mountain in the park. Its last eruption was more than 100 years ago, but scientists say there's still a lot of heat burning below its surface.
And with volcanoes, normally comes earthquakes. Last year, they had an earthquake right here. Wouldn't that be nuts? Just to be walking in a valley like this, and all of a sudden the earth just starts shaking violently.
Yeah, that would be freaky.
We've made it to Skookum Pass, where we'll leave the creek and strike out over the mountain ridges to reach our unnamed peak.
Let's see if we grab some water here. Yeah, sounds like a plan.
The higher up we go, the more important it is to stay hydrated. The body has to work a lot harder up here. Just breathing can cost you a quart a day. And besides, The view is too epic to be rushed.
So many things are hidden in this place. Not only is it enormous, but it's remote.
For me, protecting the wilderness is preserving the feeling that you are the first one to discover this.
Our goal is to stand on top of a peak that has no name. We're walking through a place that has no signs of humans whatsoever. It's the definition of unknown.
Once we leave the creek, we'll be climbing a ridge that's almost straight up. Time to strip a layer and get ready to put in some work.
Ready?
Yep.
All right.
Our peak is on the other side of the ridge. We won't see what's beyond it until we make it to the top.
It's really anyone's guess what kind of terrain we're gonna encounter on the other side of this slope. It really changes and varies in a matter of 100 feet.
One thing that's been pretty consistent throughout the whole trip is that we've been going up a lot.
And every step you take, you're just envisioning what might be beyond.
In this case, what's beyond is another change in terrain to more loose rock. And when we finally reach the summit, we can barely see our mountain peak. It's covered in clouds, so our final climb will have to wait.
If it's socked in like that, there's no sense in going up there.
Yeah, that's probably the best call. And not to mention, it looks like we've got a little rain moving in too.
We need to set up our tent right here and now.
Shoot, this is on wrong.
Oh no. Oh, it's hailing. How's that side?
It's good.
Good, okay. Need a stake.
We really need to get our stuff and ourselves under cover. We're ready to turn in, and tonight is gonna be cold and wet. Tomorrow, we get one more chance at reaching the goal we set for ourselves.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Whoa,
Look at this.
It's our last morning in Wrangell-St. Elias National Park, and after a night of steady rain, there's bright sunshine and one of those magic moments that only Alaska can deliver. Some typically elusive Dall sheep are relaxing right across from our campsite.
Okay, so we had spotted some Dall sheep way off in the distance earlier, and now it looks like we have snuck up right on these guys.
Which is quite surprising because normally they will scatter at just the drop of a rock if they think it might be a predator.
These guys have some good eyes. They can spot you from miles away.
Maybe they've accepted us as one of their own.
The peak we set as a goal 2 days ago is right across from the ridge where we camped last night. So it's down one steep mountainside and up another one.
I'll tell you something. I don't know how those sheep do it.
I say that every time.
I know. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Whoa,
Look
man.
at this.
Whoa. When we picked this point as our summit, I had no idea that it was gonna just drop off like that off the other side.
Wow. The cliff and the colors, look at these mountains.
Let me just say this, I will not be skipping, running, or anything, but I'm gonna be the first of the two of us to actually reach the summit.
Not even remotely fair, you had a head start.
Well, you see, because I thought of it.
Scoot over. You can even see snow-capped mountains hundreds of miles beyond where we are right now. Look at the valley that we came out of. I mean, when you first walk into it, it seems enormous, and from up here, it's now just down to this tiny little area.
It's crazy. It's because we're 3,400 feet above the valley where we started.
You never know what's gonna happen here with the weather. First it's raining, then it's sunshine, then it starts hailing on you.
Every single mile that we hiked, scrambled, whatever it was difficult. We never hit a stretch that said, oh, there's the trail. That doesn't exist out here. You realize that this place makes you work for it. And we did that. And look where it got us.
There are few places as vast and wild as Wrangell-St. Elias, and if you're willing to blaze your own trail, there is no end to what you can discover.
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
I'm gonna have to gun it, so are you ready?
Yep.
Oh!